when you get dealt certain hands, sometimes you have no idea what the turn is going to be. And for me, it was always the thought. It was a thought of doing comedy, but I just never knew how. I never knew what to do or the approach to take, how to get there. And one day the suggestion came up from coworkers of, Kevin, there's an amateur night right around the corner at a comedy club called the Laugh House in Philadelphia. You should go do it. And I was like, I would love to do it. I never knew that these things existed. And when I got the opportunity to do that, I fell in love with the moment that I didn't know how to go get. I fell in love with the spotlight, with the stage that I didn't know existed for me. I didn't know it was available for me at that time. And once I found out how to get it, there was nothing else that mattered except that. It was about that and that only.
How?
There's so many things that are acting as olive branches to a tree because I realized that tree just grows. It doesn't stop growing. A tree only stops if you choose to say, I'm not watering anymore. But at the age 40, I feel like there's so much more water that I can put in this tree and so many more things that I can have hang from my tree. And that comes just from my mother's ability to reinforce. The funny is in me. So talking about my life and being true to who I am is what people are going to gravitate towards. People love to relate. People love to see what's real. You love to identify. If I sat up here and I talked about things that you guys couldn't identify with or couldn't walk away and go, wow, I'm alienating myself from my crowd. The best way to open up and make myself a part of my crowd is to be real, because we all love real. So my life, my mistakes, my ups, my downs, my marriage, my divorce, my kids, that's what we all share. We just share it differently. We all travel. If you don't travel, you want to travel. If you want to travel, where do you want to go? There's so many things that I can break down that acts as connective tissue between me and everybody. I can relate to everybody in this room, and I don't have to change who I am, because ultimately, you just want to know about the person that you're watching. And when you walk away, you go, damn, that was interesting. That was funny. But if you feel like you know me and you laughed, now you grow with me. The best way to adapt to times is to simply understand that people's feelings should be respected. I get it. I understand it, which is why over the last 10 years, I made the changes that I've made. Within the level of respect that you put out also a good energy of change. Like I tell my kids all the time, you're not gonna be straight A students all the way through school. It's not gonna happen. I want it to happen, but when it doesn't mean that you're a bad student. It means that on this particular test, they threw some curveballs at you that you just didn't handle correctly. How do we accept this, learn from it, and then handle the next test better? If I got to the point where I was unrealistic and I go, you didn't get another A, am I being real? Am I being true to what I know and who I am? Am I really giving good lessons? Or am I allowing my kids to understand and grow? I want them to understand and grow the same way that I have. And in any and everything that I've done in life, I can tell you guys, honest to God, I have learned and grown. That's the dopest thing about being authentic. I'm real enough to say when I'm wrong. I'm real enough to go, yeah, I get that. Perfection shouldn't be something that's expected from each and every single individual.
No human's going to deliver it anyway.
You can't do it. And at this time, that thing is being put on people in all aspects of life. You know, when you tell me this room and you say that I have 44 people in this room, and these are all people that have taken on an amazing task with me and they act as amazing partners. Some people go, oh man, that's cool. That's good for you and everybody in this room. I'm the guy that goes, well, what do they do? I want to know what you guys do. And then when I find out what you do, I'm going to go and look those things up. Well, how did they get into that? how do these people get together? How do they meet? I don't like not knowing. I don't like the thought of feeling of being content with not understanding or not wanting. So when I see what other people can do, what can be obtained from a thought, from a want, from a feel, it makes me go, well, I got the same thoughts and the same feelings and the same wants. I don't have what these people have. I haven't done nearly half the thing that these people have done. That means that I'm not doing as much as I could, because these people are proof that the things that I want to do can be done. I'm not looking at one person that got lucky. If I'm looking at 44 people, why aren't I number 45? When I look and I sit in a room and I'm with Oprah and I see Hove and I see Jeff Bezos, I don't sit in awe. I sit and think to myself, look at where they came from and look at what they are now. More importantly, look at the impact that these people have on the world for real. I didn't expect to be able to have that type of access. And when you do, you're now putting a different definition on your purpose. So my purpose is bigger than just making people laugh or selling movie tickets.
Yeah.
Now it's a feel good that's associated with me. Now when I'm in the street and people come up to me and they say, hey, Kev, I had a heart attack, man. And I swear to God, I didn't want to get out the bed. But something about what you do and what you say made me get out the bed. I've been trying to get in shape. Hey, Kev, my kid, I lost one of my kids, man. I was so down. But, dude, I see the way that you attack every single day, and you make me feel like there's something else for me in life, and I'm starting to feel better. When you start to realize that you have a different purpose, that you're reaching people differently, that people give you a different level of energy because of what you put out, they're giving it back to you, you now go, I'm making an impact. I'm making an impact. Like, there's a bigger thing that I can actually do here. There's a bigger reach. There's more that I'm adding to my story. And for me to have 3 kids, if my kids can walk away from it all and go, yo, our dad did so much for so many people, that's bigger than saying our dad was so famous and so funny. The success is one thing, but the success has now molded and shaped itself into a machine that's for people. You're helping people, and there's a high level of story that comes with your name that's different from the amazing motivational speaker and the guy that fills a room with inspiration. He's also creating change.
Yeah.
That's the difference, and that's what I want. So I'm not content with not having that. The biggest reason for my entrepreneurial drive right now is by being a sponge. When you're around other entrepreneurs and you see what the benefit of a creative mind is, it sparks yours. The only way to really get to my goal, if I'm trying to become a billionaire and I want to take that money and throw it back into several communities, I have to surround myself with other people that have that same mentality. Everybody has, it's not just one thing. There's several different things. There's several chances. There's several, ideas that you're throwing things at. And out of those ideas, you find a great group of people that you can surround yourself that can help you possibly position yourself in a way for these things to work. Yeah. It's not done as an individual. It's done as an individual that gets a great team around them that can help bring your ideas to a reality. I have no ego. I don't know it all. I don't have the education that matches up with the things that I've done or that I'm doing. But what I do have is the understanding of how things work. And when you get the people that have a different type of understanding and you match my understanding with yours, you have something that is destined to succeed. Because you're putting a creative vision and a real hindsight with the education and the structure and the systematic view, and combining those things, you now look up and you have companies. This is how companies get built. And when you have a team, a real valuable team that has a high level of energy and effort and want and will to make something work because they believe in it, the chances of you losing are very slim. I've been lucky enough to work with great people, and I credit my team every chance that I get, because I don't get here by myself. I get here with people that help motivate and push and stay true to the course that we all are on. I can't do what I do and not be in shape. We travel a lot. We're up all night. We're doing shows for hours at a time. You want to give the greatest performances that you possibly can. If you can't breathe, you can't do it. If you're huffing and puffing, if you're weak or you're in the hospital or you're sick, you can't do it. Your shows don't last. So the best definition that I would put with me is flawed. You know, I'm flawed. I'm openly flawed. That doesn't mean that you can't do or you can't have. It means that you're a person. And as a flawed person, I've somehow managed to still be an amazing father. I'm still an amazing husband. I'm still a provider. And I'm a visionary. And I think with being a visionary, you realize that you become a leader. And within me and my leadership and what I put out there for those that work for me or that are part of my empire, it's not a boss and employee relationship. It's a we relationship. And the best way to lead is to make people feel a part. My team feels like they're a part of everything that I have because they understand that I can't do it without them. And I learned that in life, if you can walk away by being a leader and turn around and see the people that you've led and look at what they now have in life, that's the best justification of how you led, because everybody was able to obtain their own. So right now, I have people that have obtained their own. So I would break it down to a flawed family man that loves to lead and see his people win.